Welcome back, welcome back. Here we are again, season 2, Maternal Incubation. Please check out season 1, Maternal Incubation, to go over some of the tips that I had went over in there, some that I'm going to elaborate for you guys here, and go over some more of the information, just a little bit more in depth. So please like and subscribe. I really want to pass this information on. I just want to make sure I'm hitting the right notes so you guys giving out this good information. She's about to eat. Always remember, you place the male into the female's enclosure. Breathe. Here's my stud male. This is Mellow. This is a picture from his breeder when I purchased him. You always want to make sure that your males are up to size. Not to be discouraged if they are not, because when I put Mellow in there last season, he was a little bit over 500 grams. But you want to be able to make sure that you're seeing the telltale signs of mating. This female is sensing this entire enclosure up, and also Mellow has eaten. He's always been a good eater, taking advantage of every meal presented to him. And as you can see here, he was in there for 3 days. I usually leave my males in there for 3 days and then I take them out, and it is very, very important to get them back on food. You really probably won't have much of an issue with your females, but you'll definitely probably have an issue with your males.
That's a triple.
Well, if you notice, I didn't clean up any of the urates inside of the enclosures. This was not to be dirty. This is a sensory thing. You want to keep that in there so that the male, when he comes back inside, he knows that the female is still receptive, and so on and so forth. I have heard of people putting in other male sperm plugs, even other males' shed, to kind of stimulate the mating process a little bit more. Sometimes just wet them all up. Those urates put the scent in the air and keep on trying them. Everyday check. Damn, there you go. Everyday check. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As you can clearly hear, I have been checking on this girl for a long time. I know that she was up to date as far as the timeliness of me expecting her eggs. I have been literally hovering over her because I know I wanted to do this video with maternal incubation. I really eventually wanted to get rid of the entire incubator situation, as I have done the research to state that some people have success in this. And me utilizing what I researched and what I've learned, I wanted to pass it on because I've had success with this. And this is just pretty much how we share information in our community and continue to hope other people share in our success. So again, 9 beautiful eggs. This is ridiculous. She had 9 eggs last season and she has 9 eggs this season. Here you can see I already have a probe underneath of the eggs. The substrate is brand new. I mean, I already had replaced the substrate. I just needed to make sure the eggs had that medium in between the eggs in the bottom of the tub and the heat strip. And right here you can see I'm trying to explain how I utilize the saran wrap to cover the outside of the enclosure, because my heat is actually in the front of the rack system, which is compared to most people's in the back, which I literally changed around last year when I did this first maternal incubation, and I tried to see if it would work. There were a lot of pros and cons to it and trial and error, but at the end of the day, I had success last season, 100% success hatch rate. This season was another 100% success hatch rate. I just utilized the same things that I did last season all over again here, and I figured I'd share it because this was super cool to let mom do all of the work and just sit back. Yes, I've heard all of the horror stories that people have said that the mother has crushed the eggs, or an egg has went bad inside of the clutch and they had to go in there. It was harder to remove it and things of that nature. But to be honest, that's pretty much what we have to deal with no matter what. And I'm using nature as a winner here, because in the wild, this is how it would normally have to happen regardless. Also remember, these are still wild animals at heart. Even though they're domesticated and we bring them up inside of our homes and things of that nature, these animals are still defensive when it comes to protecting their young, especially with this type of situation. Her being on these eggs for so long, you can see her demeanor. She's almost like, what are you doing here, and please leave me the hell alone. It's probably not so much of a no-brainer to state at this point that this is maternal incubation, and she's doing all of this inside of the enclosure that has been in for the last 2 or 3 years, which I have dialed in to every avenue that I could. But humidity is one that we always run into. What I've done in this situation was always use hot water to kind of increase the humidity, and also gathering the temperature of the surrounding area of where the eggs are at. As you can see here, I'm getting the temperature of the surrounding area. Also, mom, you want to make sure you have all these temperatures locked in so that there's no crazy variance that you have to worry about to adjust for. You can also see that I have the newspaper in this situation. This is later in the season. This newspaper was pretty dry, so I always wet the newspaper again, not soaking wet. Just wet enough to absorb whatever extra condensation is in the air or around the eggs, and also provide enough moisture to give to the eggs. A part B of what the newspaper does is it absorbs whatever excess moisture may drip or whatever the case may be. Also, I'm not mentioning it enough, this piece of plastic on the opposite end of that newspaper does the trick. It keeps that perfect level of condensation and humidity. Here you can see she jumps up real quick. This is why you have to watch yourself with this. You want to have a newspaper roll by. I keep the circulars, I wrap them up. You see her, she's moving. If you get close to her right there, she will tag you. Last season she definitely tagged me because I was getting a little too cocky. I was trying to get a temperature and I was showing somebody at the same time, and yeah, she bit the shit out of me. I shooed her away a little bit here. Some people are scared that, you know, the mom won't come back on top of the eggs. Again, this is something that they have been waiting for. This is just natural for them. They're in there. The mom, she knows she laid those eggs. They're my eggs. She's come back on these eggs every time. This season and last season.
This is around the time I tried her last time. So. Okay.
Here you go. This is what we were waiting for. 4 or 5 months, hell, probably longer than that, because I've been waiting since last season to try to repeat this to see if I can be successful again. And me seeing these babies crawling around inside the enclosure with mom, yes, I couldn't wait to take these eggs out and cut open these little pips. Beautiful, beautiful babies. Look at this pastel Mojave black pastel and a single gene. I wanted to call this one a black pastel, but I'm just going to go with normal for her. Here are the babies. Yes, beautiful. As they start to come out of the egg, you want to start to separate them. Put them in a separate enclosure. Another one with just wet paper towel. You know, put some hides in there, put a bowl of water in there. You got to get ready for their first shed. She gave me a pastel single gene, normal possible black pastel, same with that pastel single gene, a bunch of these pastel Mojave combo bananas, and keep them in the same temperatures that you would have kept them in the entire time, 89 degrees, 87 degrees, and 100% humidity. And eventually you'll see the babies crawl out. And here they are. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on my other platforms. And I will be doing another remake of this video to give out them information, those little tips that I think I forgot. But don't worry, I got you guys. Stay tuned.